Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is JCV coming at you with the message of the day. Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States. Bow! All right. So, okay. Shocked. Bewilderment. Flabbergastment. Maybe somebody crying. Yeah, I know. It's a big statement to make, and it's definitely something that I would have not predicted about a year ago. But I think it's something that, in my opinion anyway, seems pretty clear at this point. And the reason I'm actually making this video is because I think there's a lot of confirmation bias maybe in the media. Like a lot of people just not wanting to see what's going on, what's happening right now between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. How the supporting structures, the Democratic and the Republican parties are supporting their candidates, what's kind of happening there, and how these candidates are being perceived by the public. So I just want to make a few comments about that, why I think this is going to happen. It's not because I want Donald Trump to necessarily be the president. It's just that I feel it's going to happen. And obviously there are certain aspects to his candidacy that I find appealing, whereas there's then of course a lot of question marks. Donald Trump is a bit of a wild card, but let's get on with this. I don't have a lot of time. I can only squeeze 90 minutes into these videos, so let's look at the trends as far as Donald Trump's poll numbers are concerned. Ever since Donald Trump announced his candidacy in 2015, June 2015 I think, his numbers have been on the rise, and the trend continues. After a year, it still shows the sign of his popularity going up. If you look at Hillary Clinton's numbers, her popularity, as reflected by poll numbers, has been going down. And that is the overall trend with her numbers, with her popularity. And this is something that needs to be considered, because trends are something, you can't just change a trend suddenly. Usually there's a build-up, momentum builds up, and then it starts moving. And if you want to change that trend, you need a counterforce, and it generally takes a lot of time to reverse the trend. So November is nearly here. We're only 3-4 months shy of the month, and to effect an effective change within these trends, or to try to reverse what the trend is right now, you need at least a couple of months of intense messaging and advertising to try and have people change their opinions on something. So, and the momentum is really clearly behind Donald Trump, not Hillary Clinton. So this is something you really need to take into consideration. Nothing short of an extraordinary revelation that paints Donald Trump in a really, really bad light is going to change the momentum and the trend at this point. So if we are to derive just from the trends that Hillary Clinton is in trouble with this campaign, then another really big issue that was on prominent display, in my opinion, in the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia was the fact that people just do not want to vote for Hillary Clinton. And we're talking about Democrats here. If you watch at the convention, on the show floor, you had people booing Hillary Clinton's name constantly. And what made it worse was the fact that you had these people keeping order, take away Bernie Sanders' signs, and kind of like coach people into being supportive towards Hillary Clinton. It did not work. It fell on its face. It was insane. Like, they had this priestess lady show up and have a prayer, right? And I was watching this, and she was praying that God, empower Hillary Clinton, let her win the presidency, right? And okay, aside from just being a really weird prayer, people booed while she was praying. They were like, boo, no, lock her up, I don't want Hillary. And the fact that they would be that rude, I mean, I know, Democrats tend to be more atheistic and whatnot, but still, like, I don't think I've ever seen something like that happen during these conventions, right? And having thought that the Republican convention was kind of a mess, I really felt like the Democrats were just going crazy, because now they have a candidate they do not want to support. The candidate that really energized the people, especially on the grassroots, was Bernie Sanders. It was not Hillary Clinton. People loved his ideology, people loved his character. And now that they have to make a transition from supporting this person that they organically were gravitated towards, they have to transition over to Hillary Clinton, whom they have absolutely no emotional connection to, they do not like. And to be honest, to make that transition from Bernie Sanders to Hillary Clinton, you have to be ideologically and intellectually dishonest to yourself. So it's a really difficult transition to make. So people are not going to be galvanized in their support for Hillary Clinton. They might be doing it just to make sure that Donald Trump does not become the president because they see that as a big threat. That's okay, but Donald Trump supporters are galvanized. They are energized, and they're excited about their candidate. So that is a great difference, because excitement is something that's contagious. It's something that you can use to help other people come over to your team, in a sense, and support your candidate to become the president. And so when we look at it from this perspective, Hillary Clinton is in deep trouble, in my opinion. The third, and perhaps the greatest reason why I think Donald Trump is going to win the presidency now, is heavily imprinted in the zeitgeist. And that is the feel that people have towards politicians, especially career politicians, and how very displeased they are with politics in general. Donald's big advantage is the fact that he not only comes from outside of the political arena, but he's had the cojones, you could say, to expose how politicians and businesses lubricate each other with promises and with money to make things go their way. And this is obviously shady. This is something that people don't want happening within their government. And because Donald Trump is exposing that and taking a hit while doing so, people have kind of grown to trust the man more, at least more than Hillary Clinton, if nothing else. And that's what's really important, because Donald Trump does not have to win over all of the people in the United States. He doesn't need to be loved. He just needs to be more appreciated than Hillary Clinton. And let's be honest, folks, that's not going to be too difficult of a thing to do. But not only that, Donald Trump has been able to identify, acknowledge issues that are really resonating with the regular American people. And this is something that other politicians are not willing to do, like to talk about illegal immigration and propose solutions that, at least on the surface, seem to do something to deal with the problem. And so, yeah, obviously he's being called a racist, he's being attacked because of this. But do understand also that because he's picking up these issues and he's taking a hit for speaking his mind on them, people see Donald Trump taking a hit for them. And this just basically makes them think that he's a more reliable guy, because he's willing to take all of this scorn and bad-mouthing while pointing out the issues that actually hit very close with the American people. In stark contrast, Hillary Clinton is the epitome of a career politician. She is part of the elite. There's no connection to the regular everyday Americans. And instead of bringing something original to her platform, she's trying to import all of those things that got people excited about Bernie Sanders into her own political talking points. And I think she's failing miserably at that. At least if you look at the Democratic National Convention, nobody was buying that. And so this is one of the reasons why I think, one of the greatest reasons why she is not going to be the president. People do not trust her. People do not like her. There's nothing original she's doing. Whereas Donald Trump has energized support, people see Donald Trump as a far more trustworthy candidate than Hillary Clinton. And he seems far more genuine than Hillary Clinton ever did. Okay, folks, that's my 2 cents on why I think Donald Trump is going to be the next president. If you feel like dropping a comment, please do so on the comment section below. But please, let's try and be civil. There's no reason to get all nasty. You know, debates between political parties, sports teams, whatever. I trust we can keep this classy and not let the lowest common denominator define what the discussions look like. Anyway, you guys have a good one. I'm out. Peace.